I'm Pappy Mac. This is the Loyalist Garage. You're watching Ultra Deluxe, and we make videos for a sad, sad world.
If you wanna have sex, it's gotta be in a car. Drive a coupe so we can't go far. If you wanna have love in this club, let's go back to 71. 71. If you wanna have sex in the shaggin' wagon, hope that you're fat so the bumper's dragging. Better get your snowshoes on, it's a blizzard coming out of my dick. Out of my dick. If you wanna have sex in the shaggin' wagon, hope that you're fat so the bumper's dragging. Wanna make love in this club, let's go back to 71. 71. If you wanna have sex in the shaggin' wagon, you gotta be fat so my bumper's dragging. You wanna make love in this club, let's go back to 71. 71. If you wanna have sex in the shaggin' wagon, gotta be fat so the bumper's dragging. Better get your snowshoes on, it's a blizzard coming out of my dick. 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 Out of my dick.
On last week's episode, I went over having a giveaway on Facebook and Instagram. Details for the giveaway will be posted there, but I'll show you some of the merch that we're doing. We're giving away a couple medium t-shirts that we have left over from our last batch. They have the Action Cat and our motto, Live Fast, Die Fast. Since you watched last week's episode, I'm sure you're aware at this point that the Loyalist Garage is host to a cast of characters that stop by regularly. This here is Steve, also known as the Mennonite Kid.
So Pappy ended up meeting me just after high school. I still worked at the butcher shop down at the local flea market back in the day, and that place was on its last leg. He'd come in and help the butcher every now and then, would work for meat, get a good T-bone every now and then. But he saw how I worked, he thought I had a good work ethic, so he had said, "Hey Steve, you want a job down at the railroad with me?" And he got me a job at the railroad for $10 an hour. That's the most I ever made, so I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it." Got to the railroad, great job there, wore what I usually did. Most people ended up thinking I was some kind of Mennonite or something.
Over the last few days, Helen and I have been applying paint stripper to the back of the car. The whole tail panel was covered in house paint like the rest of the vehicle. When we removed the old paint, we did find some old filler, and it uncovered a whole bunch of rust. Steve came over today and is going to be giving me a hand with wire brushing and... You can't eat that.
No, these are homemade.
No, it's butter.
You want some? I'm gonna make a new batch. I'll try you next time.
tip of my thumb off this week, I decided it was time to go to Harbor Freight to pick up some disposable power tools and speed things along. So one of the more interesting finds that we made on the back of the car is that the tail panel is actually brazed in place. You can see that gold color there. That's actually brass rod that's melted with a soldering torch to hold the panel in place. Also uncovered on the passenger side was more brazing and some corresponding rust to the other side. Nothing too terrible though. This car is in great shape for its age. So today, Helen and I really didn't feel like working on the Mustang because it's snowing. And so we decided to go for a drive for a little bit. And we ended up in Old Forge, which, if you're not familiar with it, is known for its pizza. It's calling itself the pizza capital of the world. They don't do slices of pizza, and they don't do pies. They do trays and cuts. So we're going to give it a whirl and see what we think. Alright, open the Old Forge pizza for me. Let's see what we got there. 4 cuts of red, as they call it. They actually put tomato sauce. Otherwise, if you just order 4 cuts, you get no sauce.
How is it?
It is definitely different than regular pizza.
Better or worse, do you think?
It's hard to say, it's just different.
Go show it. We gon'
In half a mile, turn right onto the Penetern Pike ramp.
You're off all week. I should get the weekends.
You always get the weekends anyway.
Yeah,
and now we got Friday too.
Preston. More importantly, I have to poop so bad.
We just passed, it's 20 miles to the next exit, and now you tell me you have to poop.
Pull off the side.
For real?
No. I mean, maybe.
Poop in the tunnel. We used to have to hold our breath going through the tunnel.
Do stuff like that.
Yeah. Are you gonna do it?
Should I?
I think you should.
Are you telling me I shouldn't talk or what?
Keep holding it. We're going so slow now. Do you quit?
Yeah.
I didn't notice you there. Thanks for stopping by the Loyalist Garage and watching this week's episode of Ultra Deluxe. I hope you enjoyed what you saw today. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a like anyway, because we tried really hard. This week was a little bit of a wash. It's been 70 degrees all week long until today, and it snowed because Pennsylvania. Next week there'll be more about the cars, more about tools, and a whole bunch more fun. Tune in at 9 o'clock on Friday on YouTube.
song. Drop a heart, break a name. Who is sleeping and sleeping for the road team? Drop a heart, break a name. Who is sleeping and sleeping for the road team? Going down in an early ride, and Sugarwood going down swinging. I'll be your number one with the bullet. A loaded gun complex, target and bullet. We're going down in an early ride, and Sugarwood going down swinging. I'll be your number one with the bullet. A loaded gun complex, target and bullet. Drop a heart, make a name. Who is sleeping and sleeping for the road team? Drop a heart, make a name. Who is sleeping and sleeping for the road team? Is this more than you bought it for yet? Oh, don't mind me, I'm watching YouTube from the closet, wishing to be the friction. Isn't it messed up how I'm just dying to beat him? I'm missing nothing up, so there's a line in a song.